So now you've narrowed down into what you want. And so then you start looking at, how do I focus my actions, my energy towards gaining that?
Yeah.
Removing,
Yeah, right. Let's make it real, because 1 year out, that's like pie in the sky. That's fantasy. It doesn't mean anything. How do you relate it to today? That's the real question. So one answer is to layer your goals. So we've got 12 months out. What are some milestones that you could celebrate 12 weeks from now to have you fully on track? Now, this is starting to get real, because 12 weeks is coming up. It's coming up quite fast. So you work out, all right, let's say I want to be in a 2-year acting program a year from now. 3 months from now, I'll have the program chosen, and I might have a date planned for moving to Los Angeles, right? So you work backwards. And then the next step, what are you going to do this week for the 7 days? What's your 7-day plan? I've got Post-it notes on my board right now, and there's a 7-day column. This is what's made it into the priorities for the next 7 days. And so look, if you're listening to this recording right now, you might want to pause the recording and go and do your 12-month goals, just 10, 20 minutes, and then do your milestones, and then write down, all right, the next 7 days, what matters? 50 things want to make it onto that wall. Don't let it. Just pick what really matters, what the priorities are. The rest goes in a drawer, or I call it the waiting room. The rest goes in a waiting room. Now, that'll serve you for the next 7 days, but then you're going to run out and you're going to be lost for the next 7 days. So it's very important. And again, this is on the checklist. Book a date with yourself once a week for 20 minutes. I call it a CEO date. 20 minutes. It could be Friday, 4 o'clock. You get a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee. It could be Saturday morning, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. You pick. And this is where you pat yourself on the back. Literally, you can reach over and pat yourself on the back for everything that you've accomplished, because you've probably forgotten 90% of what you've actually done. So you pat yourself on the back and go, dude, nice one, legend. And then for the remaining 10 minutes of that date with yourself, you create your Post-it notes, or you put it on your Trello board. This is my action plan for the next 7 days. Here are the things from last week that didn't get done that are going to make it back onto this week. Here are some things I'm going to take off because they're just not, I don't have room, I don't have time. And this is what my priorities are. Then I want you to have a weekly action plan. Even if you don't fulfill it all, I want you to know what matters to you for that week, because it feels really good. And then if you actually show up and do those things, that's a whole other thing. That's where you need the rest of what's on the checklist. But if you actually show up and honor that list and do those things before other things that want to crowd in, that's what I call integrity, because you're doing what your own mind has told you matters most. That's integrity. When you don't do it, when you know what matters is calling those 10 prospects or getting the taxes done or whatever else it is, and you go and check email instead, that's how we create stress in the body, because the mind knows that this isn't the highest path for you. And so it's stressful. Then we need sugar and alcohol and nicotine and all sorts of things, and TV and video games to medicate, because the body's, body and mind are out of alignment.